Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome all. Hi, this is a shifting video. So, you might hear some noises in the background and you might hear some insanely happy laughter. Also, I tried to use natural lighting for the room, so let me know like if you guys actually like it. The last time I was back in the My Hero Academia universe, Frodo bit someone and they basically mutated. And we found out that it was indeed Toga. You guys kept telling me, shout outs to all you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here to like support me and support my channel. I'm still happy to be a small channel. Like if I blow up and I'm really, really small, that's okay. You know, I can stay a small channel because I know not a lot of people like to watch like shifting content and a lot of people don't understand what it is. So um I just wanted to point that out before I continue. I want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you. I hope everyone's having a good day. So, yeah, so apparently it was Toga. I guess her plan was like to kidnap him or something. I don't really know what her intentions were with him because I think she thinks that maybe it's just Frodo has like a regular quirk, but that's not the case because you guys know he's from Ari, so apparently there's no way to really there's no way to steal his, I would say, quirk, which is not really a quirk. There's no way to steal it without, you know, infecting yourself. You basically gotta get mutated. But so I feel like that would have happened anyway with Frodo. If she had to try to do that. Because she did take some of his blood apparently. They never found they never found why. She was in like a prison, but then I don't know, she got out somehow. She can apparently like um, change her body or whatever. I mean, I have seen her like in the My Hero Academia. Like I've seen her in like the series, and I've seen her like do it a few times. But I didn't know you could actually melt your body into like nothingness. No one knows how she got out, but they had her in custody for a while. Frodo is doing fine. Um, we did decide to integrate him into a school. They talked about it and they said it was like the best idea for him, so they decided to put him in a classroom of students. So apparently I'm the crazy mom or whatever because I came in there to pick up Frodo and there was another boy next to him and both of the kids were naked. And I guess the kid took off his clothes and Frodo was just imitating him. Now remember Frodo is a year old now, but Frodo is already walking. He's already walking right now. So I feel like he understands a lot more, but at the same time that was really reckless and dangerous. So when I went to pick up Frodo, I basically kind of like I sort of told the teacher off. Um, and then I picked up Frodo and just took him out of there. I didn't bother to put any clothes on him or anything. When I left out and Kago saw me, I handed him Frodo. And I told him what happened. And Kago apparently just got mad at me. He didn't get mad at like the teacher for doing what you know what he did. And I just feel like I was like, was this the right decision? I wasn't really sure. Like, were we supposed to put him in with a bunch of kids? You know, Frodo has to keep his diaper on usually at all times. He wasn't wearing anything. And the teacher that was like keeping all the kids, he said that apparently there was another teacher too, because there was only 8 kids in a class, and when you have a classroom with more than 8 kids, you got to have 2 teachers. But because these kids are different, they get 2 teachers automatically. Apparently, the other teacher left. I don't know why they left. I don't know what happened. And then, so this one teacher is supposed to keep an eye on all the kids. And when I walked into the room, none of the babies were like running around the room or anything. Everyone was kind of just sitting down nonchalantly. So I don't really understand his reason for that. And so, like, that was my reason for like going off on him the way I did. But maybe I should have like clothed Frodo. But also, that was like kind of, I guess I was kind of targeting Frodo in that way too, because it's like Frodo hates the cold. Um, if you have a baby, if you're old enough, if anyone who's watching who's older, if you already have kids or already have a baby, you know that, you know, when you're sitting in your house freezing, the baby is fine. the baby is fine shirtless walking around and you're sitting there cold, you know, the kid is not going to feel the same way as you. Because obviously babies' bodies are a little different. So whenever it's like freezing cold or whenever I'm too cold or anything, you know, Frodo automatically becomes like a little snuggle bug. He wants to crawl in bed with you. He wants to snuggle with you or snuggle between mommy and daddy on the couch because with both of us are just going to keep him warm. He really is a spoiled baby, I swear. Anyway, so it was pretty cold out. Yeah, so I brought Frodo out there like naked. I kind of didn't really care, and I handed him to Kago. And Kago was like, "That was really irresponsible of you," and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. Just basically just gave me earful, and I was just like, "How do we? What do you propose I do?" He's like, "We're leaving." So he drove us back to the house. He gave Frodo a bath, put Frodo to bed, and me and him sat and talked about it. And I just told him, you know, I can't really trust a school that does this. We need to put him somewhere else. Any parent would be upset about that, regardless of whether because the kid that was with him was actually older. I guess he was 2 years old. And you know, 2 year olds like to run around naked or whatever. I didn't want Frodo to think there was a problem with being naked because he's too little. Frodo is very smart. He has a really high IQ. So Frodo will like figure it out. If Frodo will figure out that humans are supposed to be clothed and we're all supposed to be clothed. I really want him to be able to be a baby without having to worry about him knowing too much at his age. And it's going to be really hard to conceal things and like I don't know, keep things from him just because he's that smart. I wanted Frodo to be normal. So we talked it through. I also talked to some of my friends too that follow me in this channel in Discord, and they told me that I need to apologize. I was like, oh my god, do I really have to? I went back and I went back. I did not take Frodo with me, and I just apologized. I said I'm sorry, but also I feel like my kid. I can't really trust him to be in this school. Like he's not being watched, so I took him out of that one. And then I talked to the principal of the school, and I told him, you know, maybe the teacher's overwhelmed just by themselves. They should probably have another teacher. And I told them about the incident, and they apologized and all this. And I really, after thinking things through a lot, I figured out that I overreacted. So apparently, Frodo is supposed to go to another school, and I guess Indo. Oh my gosh, Endeavor is supposed to take him to the other school, and he's gonna basically like sit there and observe class with him, which I think is awesome. So now that we have that out of the way, by the way, Frodo calls Endeavor Indo. I don't know why he calls him that, but hello, I'm doing a video. Mm-hmm. All right, sorry about that, guys, and we're back. So anyway, so yeah, Endeavor is gonna go with him to the new school and basically sit through class with him or whatever. So I wasn't worried about that anymore. I needed to talk to Toshinori because he said he had something he wanted to say to me in person. And I was just like, what is he gonna say? You know, I hope he doesn't like pop the question. I think I would have to say yes, but I want to give him the impression I'm not going to, because honestly, I don't know how I would be married to him, living here, and then I would literally just leave. But also, I'm not really ready to take that step yet. Like, I'm really not. We haven't worked this through. I know he talked about going to like a faraway place with just the two of us, or a world with just me, Frodo, and Kago in it. But how boring is that gonna get after a while? Anyway, so I went to see Toshinori at his house, and when I came in, he had dinner ready for me. And so I sat down, and I was like, you know what? I said, you need to try my food first before I eat it because I'm not gonna. He goes, I get it, and he eats like my whole plate, and then he gives me his, and he's like, there you go, and I'm just staring at him. I'm just like, and he's like, oh, I get it. He takes a bite of his food too, so he knows that. Like I literally watched him like eat my whole plate. He like devoured it, and I sat and just watched him to see like is he gonna pass out or anything? He didn't. So I kind of wanted to get him back for what he did. I wanted to, drug him too, but I didn't want to hear what he had to say to me. So I finished my dinner. He took my hand and walked me over to the couch. He sat me on his lap. So I was sitting looking at him, and then we were making out, and he's like, "Wait, I got something I have something I want to ask you. I have something I want to talk about." And I was like, "What is it?" And Toshinori is like, "I." I'm like, "I." At least he's not saying will, right? Because you know what he's gonna say. He says will, the other two words that come after, but he said I. And I go, "Okay, what is it?" He's like, "I want a baby." And I'm just like, "You want a baby?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's good for you. Good for you for wanting a baby." I said, "How are you gonna get it? How are you gonna get your baby?" He's like, "I want your baby." I'm like, "Okay, so you want Frodo?" I was like, "I'll let you have him for the whole day." And he's like, "No." He's like, "I want us to have a baby together." And I'm like, "Toshinori," I'm like, "we already have Frodo. Frodo is already a handful. I'm not going to have another child. Also, I can't." He's like, "What do you mean you can't?" I'm like, "I can't. I'm not going to." I said, "You know what? Why don't I just give you Frodo for the whole day? I'll give you the whole entire day. Actually 2 days. And then you can tell me if you still want a baby. Deal?" He's like, "I feel like this was a really important conversation." I said, "I did too, but you got to remember, you are involved in Frodo's life, but you're not with him 24/7. 90% of the time, he's with his godfather or he's with, his daddy. And mommy is not always around. But, Daddy All Might is always there all the time. So, I mean, you don't get to, like, do all the hard stuff. You get him they give, Frodo to him after he's been changed, after he's been fed everything. So Frodo is nice and full. And he's just, like, kind of lax, almost kind of lethargic in a way. And Toshinori kind of just sits with him the whole time and if he was older, I'm pretty sure his movements and everything he did, and plus the medicine and everything, would make him like, what's the word? They give kids this with ADHD. I don't know what it is, but it makes them zombie like or something. Not zombie like, ugh, but zombie to where like they don't really want to do anything and are really sluggish. It's kind of like that. Plus Frodo is kind of young, so I think his body is still his little tiny body is getting used to it. Frodo is literally this big. Okay? This big. I don't know if you guys can see. So about here, and then this is lower. So about here. So this is how big Frodo is. He's tiny, okay? He's my little man, my little nummy gums. So, um, so I just made out and he's like, um, so we just made out and he's like, "I want to see if I can make a baby with you right here, right now." I said, "Okay, let's try it." I know nothing's gonna happen. So it's like, so then like I was laying down and he's like, putting his hand up my dress and then he's pulling me like into him and I'm just like I can imagine I can imagine waking up to him every day because I would just be so happy. Like I would. But I don't know what I can't live that kind of life to where I'm just always with him and that's it. Like Frodo did come along. But Frodo was a surprise too. He was a surprise baby. And I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't. I can't imagine life without him. So you already know what happened. I kind of want to describe details, but I kind of don't because you guys have heard it like over and over again. But like Frodo, um, I don't know. I don't know about having another child. Like, and if I did, because there's a way to do it. I know I can't physically do it, but if they created another show, I hope they don't do something like that. But but Frodo is I don't know. I don't want to completely just be like, um, Toshinori, no, no kids at all whatsoever. We're never ever like I could do the harsh thing and just be like an asshole and just be like, well, that's not gonna happen. But I kind of want to let I want to let him let that linger for a bit and just let him keep Frodo for a while. But yeah, so we got like a little. We were starting to get a little hot and heavy on the couch with our making out and stuff, and then him going under my dress, and then he said that we're going in the room. He was like, "We're going to the room," and I was like, "Okay." And then he took my hand, and I was like following him, and the feeling of just holding someone else's hand and having them drag you. But then we got in the room, and he like slammed the door, and he like threw me onto the bed, and I was like, "Toshinori, what are you doing?" He's like, "I said I want a baby," and I was just like. I told you to wait, think about, Frodo first. Think about your time with him. And so then he's like on top of me, he's like kissing on me, like kissing on my neck, and then, you know, and then like we were like making out and he like bit my bottom lip. And I was just like I'm like, oh, so you're trying to be rough this time. So like I tore his shirt and you could see like his whole six pack. And his big body. I put my hands on his body and they were like warm. And then like I ran my hands down and I pulled out his man goods. I pulled out his man parts, his pole, and I was like rubbing on him and then he pulled me to him and he's like, I'm like, what? And then he's slowly like moving his hands up and I'm just like, you know, because I realized something. He likes to tease me a lot. He likes teasing. He likes I don't know. He's just really like he's really sensual and just really like I don't know what the word is. But I love like it's just really romantic and so then he penetrated me and he was like pounding me and I was like yelling and I was like holding on to the blankets and the blankets were like coming off the bed and then he's like, you want me to go harder? And I was like, no, because I'm scared. And he's like, okay, I'll go slower then. I was like, you don't have to go slower, just don't just slow down a little bit. So because he was starting to lose himself, guys, and I don't want to be that person obliterated by his Toshinori's obliterated by Toshinori's cock or whatever. No, because I could feel him intensifying and like it was at the point where I was like screaming and clawing at him, and but I didn't want him to stop either because I was enjoying it too much. It was so much pleasure, and it went on for hours and hours. And he just was like, when I wake up, I just want to make love to you all over again. So afterwards, I was kind of like tired, and I'm just like, okay. And he said, I'm gonna run your bath water. He got up and started like running my bath, and I was just like, Toshinori. And he was like, yeah. I was like, let's take a bath together. So then we got in the bathtub, and we were just sitting in there, and Toshinori was like touching me, touching like my feet and playing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this guy is gonna get me like worked up again. And then after we got out of the bath, I was laying with him, like just cuddling with him. And then he's like, I love you. I get it all. And I was like, I love you too, Toshinori. And then, so we were laying there and he fell asleep holding me. And so, like, the door was, I wanted to get up and like see like what time it was because it's really hard to have consciousness when you're in another reality. But I knew that I couldn't stay here. At some point, I knew I would have to like up and leave. And all I had to do was call my guide, and my guide would come get me. But I was curious as to see how much time went by. Because you know what? People have been asking me, you guys have been asking me, like, how long are you actually there and all this. And but for some reason, I couldn't see like a clock in his room. I know he had one in his house because I remember specifically seeing one like at breakfast. So I figured it was in the dining room. So Toshinori is asleep. His arm is wrapped around my waist. Both of us are like naked, and but there's like a sheet over us, so it's kind of like, and it's kind of like tucked, so we're sort of like tucked together, so I can feel his body against me. Oh my gosh. And then like, so his arm was around my waist, so I was trying to like move and get up a little bit. And I don't know if, I guess he was still asleep, but consciously, unconsciously, he was like holding me tighter. And I was like, okay, so now I can't really move. It seems like every time I try to move, he like squeezes me tighter. And I just have this thing about being like crushed by someone to where like, I don't know, that's like a nightmare. Like it's a nightmare. It's probably one of the worst moves. You know those wrestling moves and where the guy picks him up and he like bear hugs him and he's like crushing his bone. Oh my god. For some reason that like freaks me out. So I was kind of freaking out a little bit and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna call my guy. I'm just gonna leave. And at some point next time, maybe we won't go to bed together. Maybe we'll sit out there and just talk. Let's touch it, right? We're not gonna sit there and talk. He's not a sit there and talk kind of guy. At some point, he would get up and pick me up and probably like pull me across the table or something. And so we're not gonna. Because remember, you guys remember last time when um, I was like, let's just have it. Let's just talk. Let's just have a nice conversation. And he was just like, he didn't do that. You know, he did. What happened? I don't remember. I just know that we were not talking anymore when that happened. So I don't know. I would really have to use like maybe I'll use like an excuse again. Maybe I'll say like I'm on my period or something and say like I don't really want to or I'm feeling not that great or whatever. But then he's not gonna give me any sweets or ice cream or anything. Mm. He's gonna say he shouldn't have that stuff because he's gonna tell me it's gonna make my cramps worse or whatever. And I don't really get that anymore since I don't bleed. So, but I need to. I really want to find out for you guys how long I'm actually there. Because all I know is it's only been like 20 minutes when I got back or whatever. Even though I've been there for hours, even though we've been making love for hours, he's been like pounding me for hours. So I mean, yeah. I just called my guide. My guy just shifted me out. Um, and I came back here and I'm just like, oh, I just felt like a high. I felt a high to where I was just so happy. I just thought about him the whole day. It just made my day. Like, I'm just so happy. And I can't wait to see Frodo. Like, I can't wait to hear about how the school went and all that because apparently Endeavor went with him and all this stuff. You guys know. So, I think that I'm gonna end the video here, but I'm supposed to go back there again tonight. So you guys might be getting another video either tomorrow or Tuesday. Just like I'm keeping you guys updated on what's happening. Gosh, Toshinori, I want to make a baby. It's crazy. He already knows me, so it's like you already know I can't, and I know there's a way to do it, but still. Oh my gosh. Uh, Imagine Frodo having a sibling, another sibling walking around with him, and I guess that would be cool, and he'd be like a big brother, but he's too young right now. Maybe in this far, far future, I'll think about kids again, possibly. But right now, Frodo's enough. Plus, I'm spoiling only him right now, so. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys about what happened, keep you updated. When I go back, I have a plan to go to a romantic dinner. Um, I'm gonna see how Kegel feels about going on a trip somewhere. I might take him like away from everybody. I don't think he wants to play the torture game with me anymore because honestly, he already got me back with the whole milk thing. And then I think me and Frodo are probably gonna make breakfast, maybe. I don't know. Because I know for sure that I want Frodo to like get used to being in the kitchen with me again. I want to try it again. It can't be my kitchen though. It's gonna be his house. I'm sorry. It's definitely gonna be Frodo's home. His, it's gonna be Daddy's house. Like I'm going there, and I'm just gonna have him hang out on the counter with me, and I don't know, maybe we can bring him like a breakfast in bed or something. Your homemade meal from me and your son. Just let Frodo put everything in there because he doesn't know how to cook, so just make Kago eat everything. So yeah, because Frodo will be sad if you don't eat his stuff. Just like he would be sad if he didn't get to pour the milk that time. So do what you can. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about Toshinori's comment about what we should make Keigo for breakfast, me and Frodo. What should we make together? Should we do pancakes or should we do waffles? Should we do eggs and toast? Should we do like hash brown? I don't actually know what they're I've never had a hash brown from there. It's probably freaking delicious. I definitely want to try it. Just let me know any questions you have in the comment, just in general. In the comments, just in general. And don't forget to give this video a like. And if you hate it, you know, uh, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when other videos like this one become available. Ding! And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video, which would be like Monday or Tuesday. Probably Tuesday. Because if I'm going back there tonight, let's see, if I go back tonight, I am working Tuesday. Yeah, probably Tuesday. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!